and I'll be 30 next month. I am a mom, a makeup artist, and a sister to two younger sisters. Well, definitely lipstick femme. I have always considered myself to be more on the girly side. And honestly, I didn't know I was a lesbian until I met my girlfriend. So I've always been the girly girl type, into makeup, hair, Barbies, the usual. Well, my best friend told me that she was gay, and it had her and I had conversations. Her and I, me and you, had conversations about being gay and what it's like being with a girl. And I had always been on the curious side, but never really pursued it. So it wasn't until you had showed me a picture of my current girlfriend that I was like, oh yeah, she's kind of cute. And it was like, not just cute to look at, cute like a curious cute. So when I finally met her, I fell more in love with her personality, not just her looks. So I feel like that was kind of the start of it all. I already had an attraction for her from day one. I was confused, but I was still young. So I wasn't taking my feelings too seriously. I was like, if I mess around, but if it turns into something, great. But I had no expectations whatsoever going into it. I just followed the gut of, I thought she was cute, and let's see what happens. So, friends, I don't think they were that surprised because I had given many hints and talks about this girl, Allie. So, I don't think they were that surprised. Family, on the other hand, they weren't surprised, but my family is just so cool. So my mom years ago, she had saw some episode of Oprah. My mom's a true Oprah fan. So she had saw an episode of Oprah, and I think somebody had committed suicide or something to that effect where the mom was on and talking about how she wished she had just been more accepting of her kids. So anyways, after school, my mom sat me and my two sisters down and had this long talk about no matter what we are, no matter how we feel, she's always going to love us no matter what. So for us to never be afraid to tell her the truth about, us and to be true to ourselves. So that always stuck with me. So when I did get into my relationship with Allie and I wanted to come out to my mom, I literally called her, and she was literally watching Oprah at the time. And I said, Mom, I have something to tell you. You remember my best friend Allie? I love her. She's really sweet. Remember the one with dreads? Yeah, what about her? Well, she's my girlfriend now. She said, okay, well, I'm going to call you back. I'm watching Oprah. And that was the conversation. It was not a big deal at all. And once my mom got to know Allie and met her, she loved her on site. First time meeting her. So my family loves her. And to this day, they always say if we ever break up, they're taking her side. So my family loves her. There's no issue with my family. I don't get the usual, like, really? But I get more of the confusion because I do have a 9-year-old. I think I get more confused, like, so did you guys get a donor or did you adopt him? That's where I get most confused. Or I get people being confused about the situation. So I don't think they're that surprised, though. I don't think it's as shocking to find out someone is a lesbian or gay than what it used to be. I just don't think it's that big of a surprise anymore. I think it's more of the marriage or how serious is your relationship that becomes more surprising. I think that's where people are shocked, is when I say, yeah, we've been together 8 years. They're like, I think that's more of the shock factor. They take it more seriously when they find out we've been together for such a long time. It's not like, oh, she's gay today and won't be gay tomorrow. It's like, oh, she's legit. Aiden, he's such a sweet kid, and he's known Allie for so long that it's not a big deal to him anymore. In fact, it's kind of cute because when he gets the friend of his that sees Allie before they see me, they're like, "Is that your mom?" And he's like, "That's my other mom." Or he'll say, "Yeah, I have two moms." He's more of the one that kind of puts it out there, so he's okay with it. We have had conversations with him about how he feels about not having a dad, and I think he does get a little sad only because that's what the norm is for other kids. So he just misses feeling like he's just like everybody else. But we have lots of conversations with him that, all families are different. Some families don't have mom and dad. Some families have two moms. Some families have two dads. Some kids don't have any parents at all, to where they just live with grandma, grandpa, or are just raised by the one grandma or an auntie. So he knows that all families are different. They come in all different shapes, colors, and sizes, and he's okay with it. We tell him, are you happy? Yes. Are you safe? Yes. Do you have the things that you want? Yes. Well, then that's all that matters. And I think if his father was in his life, it would probably be worse off, just because of the kind of father his dad is. So, and I think he knows that too. He's a very mature child, being an only child, so he's okay with it. He loves her. He loves Allie. He loves our family. So he's comfortable. If I'm really thinking hard, it'd have to be when I was little, but I just didn't know what it was. I didn't think anything of it, but I would have to say it was probably Madonna or Janet Jackson. It was one of those two, because I just thought they were my favorites. But it was, now that I'm older, my feelings towards Madonna and Janet weren't like, oh, my favorites. It was like attraction. So I had to have been maybe 8, 9. I don't know. I can remember the specific videos and sitting in front of the TV with my little tape recorder, and recording the songs, because I love the songs, but the videos were everything. They were just so sexy and pretty, and I liked how the men were attracted to the women. They were just so overly sexual, and that's what I liked. So, especially Madonna. Madonna was just so out there. And I remember one year when she was getting ready to release her erotic video, they were only going to release it on MTV like after midnight or something like that. And I snuck getting up in the middle of the night just to catch that video. And it was so dirty and raunchy, and it was like such a big deal, but it was such a turn on for me. And it was just, I loved the whole erotic thing. That's what had my attention. So I want to say that kind of started my lesbian feelings, but that's not what I thought it was. I didn't think I was attracted to these women. I just was intrigued. It doesn't bother me, but I feel like femmes almost do it to themselves. So if a man is still looking at a femme who is claiming to be lesbian and, still flirtatious with the man, what do you expect? Them, they're not going to take you seriously if you're still very flirty. Or, I have quite a few friends as well that for the first 5 years of me knowing them, they were always with women. And now all of a sudden that we're about to be 30, they're trying to settle with men. So, I don't throw shade. If that's what you want, that's fine. But you can't expect men to take the femme, woman, lesbian seriously when there's just so many that decide to change their mind at the last minute because they want the white picket fence and the house and the husband. So, there's always going to be some kind of skepticism, I think, when it comes to femmes. And even studs, though. I've seen quite a few studs. I don't know any personally, but I've seen quite a few studs who were super dom and butch, and then next thing I know, they're in short skirts and a crop top. So, I don't know. I don't have an opinion. Teach their own, do your own thing, be happy, but you can't get mad at a man second guessing your lesbianism because they change their minds all the time. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I feel like they're always represented as your average neighbor next door. Somebody powerful. They always have great careers and they're cute and funny. They're just your average woman. They look like the woman in the grocery store with 8 kids. They look the same as everybody else. And they usually have better jobs. We make more money. I think because we know how to use what we have. We're able to maybe, I don't want to say manipulate, but we're able to work both sides of the fences. I think that for me anyway, when I know I have a male boss, I know how to work him or to work with him. And when I know I have a female boss, I know how to work with her. So I feel like it's an advantage to a femme, if anything. I can get away with things I know my girlfriend can't get away with because she's a stud. So I feel like I definitely have an upper hand. For bisexuals, I've never really met a true bisexual. I feel like I've met somebody that's confused and then they figure it out later. So I don't know that I've truly ever met somebody to say, I really enjoy being with a man and or a woman, and I could go with either one. And, I don't think I've seen somebody settle down long term with anybody and say, if they get married to a man and still say, yes, I have attraction for women. I've never met someone like that. And I've never met anybody that settles down with a woman long term and says, yes, I'm still attracted to a man. I feel like it's usually one or the other. So I don't know that I've truly ever met a true bisexual. But I don't have any negative feelings towards it. If that's what you do, go for it. So I can't picture myself dating another woman that's going to have those same masculine qualities, I guess. So does that make myself a bisexual? I don't know. But I know that I would never date another woman if Allie and I were to break up. But I still find other women attractive. But I just know in the dating world, I would not date another woman. It just wouldn't happen. Mm-mm. That is a good one. What makes a femme a femme? I don't know. Mine might be too hard. Because other than appearance, to me, that's all that makes a femme is the way you dress, maybe your mannerisms. But we're all women at the end of the day. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm the one that bared the child, but other than that, I think that's really it. I take on the more domestic housewife duties and I wear makeup and I like tighter fitting clothing, but I don't think there's too much other than appearance that sets women apart in lesbian relationships. I think we all want the same things. I think we all have the same desires and goals in life, and I don't think that makes me any different from a stud other than outside appearance. And I'm never going to cut the grass or take out the trash. Ever.
Hi, I'm Joanna. I am a fitness instructor. I am a student at University of Louisiana at Lafayette, and I am also a Femme. When I first got here, I kind of expected people to not really know that I was a lesbian, because that's like anywhere. But actually, I got on campus and people like knew that I was a lesbian, I guess. And I was really frustrated because I was like, where is everybody? Like, where are y'all? Like, I know that there are lesbians out there. The only lesbian I knew was like Savasia, and like I knew her in middle school. So it was just kind of like, where is everybody? So I really felt kind of limited. And the first thing I did was like, okay, I'm gonna look up what organizations we had and like stuff like that, and at least try to be involved. Um, and then I started to realize that the group that we have on campus is like not bad, but it's nobody of color really. It's nobody of color. So that was also frustrating. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out where everybody is exactly, but um, I've met more people, which is good. No, and I actually haven't heard on this campus, like anybody that goes here, any of the like cliche like dude lines when they're trying to hit on you. Like I haven't heard anybody really be like, "You're too pretty to be gay," or like whatever. Um, but I'm sure people are like, "Really? Like really?" I've had guys hit on me, and I'll be like, "Yeah, like I'm a lesbian," and they'll be like, "Oh, okay." So that's kind of surprising that nobody has really like been rude about it or anything like that. So that's the nice part. Now off campus, I have had guys be like, "Oh well, why don't you just try to be with me?" I'm like, I don't want to. Like, it's not the thing. It's not that I'm not trying hard enough to be straight. It's just that I'm not. Like, but yeah. Well, when I first came out, I was more like outed, so that sucked. But we all just kind of sat down, and when I was like, "Yeah, so this is what it is. Like, I like women," and they were like, "So are you like coming out to us?" And I was like, "Yeah." And my mom got like really upset. She was kind of like, "Are you serious? Like, you didn't tell us earlier, and like stuff like this. We could have been helping you or something like that." And my dad was like, "I don't want you to label yourself yet. You couldn't possibly know at this point," and stuff like that. And I was like, "Okay, whatever." But still to this day, they'll be like, "So have you found any guys yet in college?" And it's like, do we need to have this conversation over again? Like, I thought we went over this. So I really think that they were just in denial. Like, and I had to go to counseling. So, because a lot of stuff was happening at that time, like my eating and stuff like that. So I had to go to counseling when I came out, and little did they know, it didn't make me not gay, but it did help me like grow as a person, get out of my eating and like all my issues that I had originally. So I think that they thought that because I had come out of my eating disorder, that also come out of being gay, and so they still have some issues with that. But yeah. So my eating disorder started, I want to say, when I was probably 13 or 14. And at that point in time, I was just like in a pretty bad place in life. I was going to a school I didn't really like. I was in a relationship that was like not good for me. And, all of that kind of came together to create something that wasn't originally supposed to be an eating disorder. I was just like, I really find myself comfortable in a gym more than I do with my family or, with my friends. So I thought, I should put all my energy into being in a gym, which is not bad until it became something like, well, I still don't look good enough. Or, like so and so still treats me this way. So, and my life isn't together yet. So maybe if I just, keep going, I'll feel better about myself and then I'll be stronger, like as a person and, whatever. And it very quickly started going downhill. And let's see, I would eat like 600 calories a day. Like it was insane. And which then led me to like my attitude was just bad. I was just like all around, it was a complete opposite of what I thought was going to happen. And it was weird. It's kind of like time maybe slowed down, and I was like, I know I'm not happy, but I still want to do this. It really is when you hear people talk about it and they say that it's a monster. It's like true. It's very true. It's like I knew that I shouldn't be doing this, but I still was. And so I think actually what really helped me was just, I was able to move schools. And as tragic as it was to be outed, I had to go into counseling because they originally thought that I was just gay was a problem. And so when I went into counseling, my counselor really encouraged me to talk to my parents and really encouraged me to just spiritually get it together because that's really what the problem was. I think my spirit was just broken, and so she really helped me out of that, and my parents really found a way to put everything else aside and be like, okay, we have to help you with this, and it took me 4 years, but I am here now, and now I work out in a healthy way, and now I eat right, and um, I'm comfortable with myself, and just things are starting to work out now, and my spirit is now put together, and I'm working on myself, and yeah, and I want to help other people. So, so I really got into fitness because, well, originally I wasn't taking care of myself, and now I tried to put all my dedication and stuff into taking care of myself, and so running and working out and stuff like that. And then I started to be able to get in contact with people and like help other people and stuff like that. So it's really just helped me grow as a person and connect with people and stuff like that. So I love it. It's awesome. I wouldn't say they're very Republican, but they just, my dad, he would say, well, I'm a Christian. So whatever political view falls under that is what I am, I guess. So he's very, I don't know, he's conservative. My mom is probably more conservative than he is. And so, because his background is more like he didn't grow up in a Christian home and stuff like that. And her dad was a pastor. So, that's been those have been her views since birth, I guess, really. But, yeah, so it's very different. It's just like we were able to talk about it, which is good.
Right.
But yeah, so it's weird having, we were talking about this last night, is that we go places and like people stare at us weird and be like who cheated? Like, 'cause my parents are white, so there's me, I'm black, my little brother, he's mixed. So they'll be like, what the heck is happening? Like, whatever. And then I have two white siblings. So, I don't know, we get some stares, some weird things happen. Like, when I was little, I think we were in Alabama, and I got in the pool, and everybody there got out. And my family was just kind of like, great, like, pool to ourselves. Like, they always try to make everything a little bit better, but yeah, things like that happen all the time. But I was adopted from birth, so I didn't really have any thoughts as far as like my race being different than my parents. But I think that around 9 or 10 is when I really was like, what? Like, I'm so different. And, I had a little brother, but he was still like a baby. So, I was really the one that had to first deal with being black in a white family. And so I think, I would say things like when I was little, like, Mom, I wish I looked like you. And she would be like, I wish I had your skin, like, whatever. And they were really good about, trying to make it seem like it was somewhat normal, or even though it wasn't normal, like family ran way deeper than just blood. So really up until then, I felt like it was not normal, but normal for us. We made it normal as it could be. So, and I think they did a great job with that, just trying to encourage us, and it taught us that, even my friends can be family, or, whatever. So, yeah, I thought it was normal. I just thought it was something that was supposed to be, I guess. Like, what? Are you serious? Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you who you're about to end up with. I think that, I mean, I've never personally been like, oh yeah, she's probably just going to end up with a guy. I just lied. Yes. Actually, my best friend, who is a stud or a STEM, I don't know what she identifies as, um, she was like, oh yeah, I totally thought like the first month of school you would like end up having sex with so and so. And I was like, what? Like, are you serious? Like, I almost feel like I'm not supposed to have to prove my like lesbianism to you. Like, no. And it sucks that it's even within the lesbian community. It's like, first of all, even if I did, that's not your business. And even, but for you to just go ahead and assume that because I'm more feminine, naturally I'm going to be attracted to a man, like, what? No, I just think that makes no sense. Like, I'm not going to tell you one way or the other. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm going to assume something about, like, your sexuality, who you're going to be with, like, who you are with, whatever. It's not my business. And it's not your business, like, as far as me and who I want to be with, I guess. I think that a message that I would want to send is that feminine identified women, though we're not like supposedly more dominant or like more masculine or whatever, that we're still strong people, and that we know what we want, that we can succeed in the world, that we can be just as successful as anybody else, and just that everything that somebody else could do, we could do. And I don't know. I think that I have no idea. That's basically all I want to say. Is that we're just as capable of doing things that other people do, and that's just like to women in general. But like to lesbians, it's like, don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something. Like, don't let anybody tell you, or like if somebody tells you that you can't do something or that they don't want you here because you're a lesbian, like that's not where you're supposed to be. Like you're gonna rise above that, I guess. I know that with me, I've tried to work at like gyms or tried to be as honest as I can as far as like with my clients and stuff like that about my life. And I've had someone be like, no, like you're a lesbian. Like I didn't know this before. Like I was supposed to tell them that. And I thought since I was like one of my first clients that was going to be it for me. And I'm so much more than just having one client at this point. Like that's not where I was supposed to be. So yeah.